That's a good one. Good one.
Would be crazy. Hello to everyone watching my channel. I did a little test. I am streaming because we had an interesting conversation, Jason. So near the end of the stream, now I'm going to stream to have people come over and watch the beginning of your stream right here.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll do a little test. I didn't change anything here.
Yeah, try it.
No, it's done. I'm streaming. I haven't gone to see, but I should be streaming. I suggest everybody don't, take off from here. Please remain on Jason's channel to watch the stream. Try and encourage him to get the views. Let me know, Jason. Double check to see if you can see me stream
now. I'm checking.
I put it public, and we should be streaming. I said, check out Jason's channel.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it works perfectly. That's your channel.
Awesome. Hey, right on. Perfect.
I'm sure there's
because this was an interesting stream.
Ooh. Yeah, it works perfectly. Yeah, perfect.
Oh God, even the time's good. Perfect, man. Awesome.
Yeah,
I'll be able to do that often enough.
Yeah, that's super cool.
So that means when I want to share something, think of it, man. When I want to share something of yours and I don't want to get a copyright strike, if I share you streaming, you can't even strike me.
No,
because I'm sharing it.
Yeah,
but I'm not getting the views. It's
like
I'll get views, but people will be commenting and it'll be going to you most likely.
I don't know, but now there's 41 people. How the hell did that just happen?
Well, they're coming from my channel, Jason. So you're gonna get more people here.
Cool.
I'm sorry. Hold on, I'll turn that off.
You know what? You should have did this from the start, man. Then we would have 44 people and stuff like that.
We'll talk about the money later. We'll see with the.
Well, for me, it doesn't matter. I'm not monetized, so.
No, I mean on how much I'm going to charge you. I mean.
Oh yeah.
Free gift because I love you, man.
Here, let me. Let's put up the.
Don't get too excited now. Look natural.
I know. Just took
it won't go much more than 40. Don't worry.
No, that's it.
Because if not, I'm going to open my channel and
45.
Jason John Swartz. Hey,
it's at 45.
On your channel, 45 watching, or my channel?
Well, it's 44. Well, now it's going to be both, right? Anyone watching on you. So is it
no.
There's 20 on. There used to be 20. So is it 20 on you and 20 on mine? I don't know. But
I have no idea. But I don't see anyone. I didn't leave. Like I'm not on my YouTube. I'm here with you. I'm not even looking at what's going on YouTube. But people will be able to look in. So because it's very, very interesting. We're just talking about all the UFOs and aliens that we can see in all the art.
Yeah, man. If people are just showing up now, you're gonna have to go and see the start of this stream. We're like 2.5 hours in. An amazing stream.
Yeah, flip through it if you guys want to see when we start talking about the good stuff. It gets pretty quick.
Bruce, do you see the slide?
Yep, the real reason God flooded the earth, the sons of God.
Let's
real quick, those watching right now, don't click off. We touched on religion in this video because it's bringing everything out in the open that giants really exist. But some really interesting points that we're talking about,
Yeah, if you go back to the start of the stream, you'll see that me and Bruce are just taking the exact same information and viewing it at different angles. I think it's interdimensional, and me being a Christian bigot, I find that I'm able, using the Bible, to fit all of this weird stuff that's happening still within the biblical context. And Bruce is taking it more, well, these are possibly within the universe advanced beings. And that's why if you're religious or not, or you're more alien theory that we've been seeing, it doesn't matter, because the information you can use and add it to your world.
Absolutely. Listen, those just joining, do back it up a little bit. I'm serious, because I talked about the size of people back in the days. Jason also bringing out the context. Where in scripture are they talking about it? Why is the book of Enoch hidden? Does it go back to ancient Jewish times and everything? It's a complicated thing. It can't be spoken about in one stream. There's going to be lots of streams that we'll be able to talk about. Hey, the red on my
Bruce,
shirt actually.
Yeah, give a second. I'm going to put you on full screen. Michelle just wants to talk, so I'm going to mute myself.
Yep.
Keep on going, Bruce. Won't be long.
Yes, no problem. So again, if you're just coming into the channel, this is Jason John Swartz's channel. You just opened a Patreon channel because he's going to be talking about nutrition. That's what the only thing that's going to be spoken about there. The lots of ideals without divulging everything of it. So today we talked about the book of Enoch. We talked about giants. Giants really exist. We talked about gigantism. We talked about the way ancient African tribes and even the tribes today manipulate their bodies, like the elongated neck, about putting elastics and a strong band around your head to elongate the head to represent higher stature. Why did the Egyptians back in the days have higher, helmets and crowns? Was it because they were alien, they were hiding that? Or was there an alien in theory? Was there an alien spiritual event or alien event? Whether you want to call it paranormal or whether you wanted to call it an event that there was a spiritual event where, the Son of Man came down or whatnot. No matter how you want to look at it, there's a lot of people toning in to give their opinions. We got archaeologists, we have scientists. There's a religion through a religious perspective, like my brother's doing. There's, Jason and I disagree, not necessarily. I think we have a lot of different theories in our minds, some more that we're leaning towards. But as for debating, Jason and I said it really well today. Whether we're talking about aliens, hey Jason, whether we're talking about aliens or biblical verses, it's terms that we're giving it. If I'm saying, well, God's maybe an alien, and you're going to say, yeah, well, alien is what to you? Is an alien a demon? Because it's very touchy. For some, an alien's a godly figure. No, some it's demons and Nephilim. Also, we talked about. Back up, guys. It was very, very interesting, and there's lots of awesome comments and everything. Yeah, man. Whenever you get a chance, put on your volume, Jason.
Sorry about that. Yeah. So my granddaughter is here, so Noah's going to keep her busy. Maybe I'm going to stretch it maybe 20 more minutes.
Yeah, well, this is what I wanted to do. I probably not much more, but it doesn't matter. I wanted to stay on a bit. I wanted to stream a little bit. Those of you coming over to Jason's channel, only if you're interested in the conversation, you can support him by subscribing to him. It's free, so go right ahead.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like me, I don't care about the views. I'm not monetized anyway, so
no. And they know it. Like I told my community, you don't have to go over to see my brother, but listen, Kai, Maria Ekman, you have His Highness, David White, Darla. There's a whole bunch of people that are coming over, and I really love them for that. Julie Stats, Gate Smasher, always here. I love you guys for doing that. We're one big family is the way I look at it. That's the way I look at it. One love.
All right, here. All right, so right at the start, come here, sweetheart. Wait. Come here. Oh, sorry, Bruce.
No problem, man. Hello, princess.
Hey, Noah. Can you go upstairs and get the...
Said, is that the harmonica man that keeps playing the harmonica? Does the silly things online?
That's it. So look, in Genesis, it starts right away after the serpent. There you go. I'm gonna give her some milk. Why? Right when we go and there's like 60 people, all of a sudden, like now
that's how it is. Don't worry, the people that are here are all parents.
Yeah, exactly. So I'll try and go through it quickly.
Let's do it.
Just to say, even within Christianity, we see that there is already a genetic war that's going to be occurring with humans and now with these aliens. So here it says Genesis 3:15. I will put enmity or hatred between you and the woman, and between your seed and her seed.
First thing I should go in the fridge is open. She wants to try to grab them.
Are you able to get a diaper, please, and play with her for 20 minutes? Put on Coco Melon. Bring a diaper, and I'll change her. All right. So
background music.
So we're talking about a seed war, and so we see that straight from the start. According to the verse, there will be enmity between the individual woman and the serpent. You know what, Bruce?
I already read your mind. I already read your mind.
I'm like, oh my God, there's 62 people. Yeah, sorry. Like I
No need to be sorry. You got some new
my
people that are going to
granddaughters,
come. Some new
not
people
fair.
will come by.
Yeah. So
I suggest-
hopefully people will look at the rest of the video. It was amazing. It just
Jason,
means
thanks,
that
man. It
there's
was awesome, man.
a lot
It
of
was
stuff.
awesome.
It means that I can come back because that presentation, there's hardly anything that we saw. So it's just another reason to do it. And next time we'll do it this way.
Hey, a silly question.
Yeah.
How am I going to end the stream? I guess when you end it, it'll end.
Yeah, you're probably like piggybacked on mine.
No, okay, I see it up there.
Yeah.
All right, you are live. Perfect. Oh, that's awesome.
I'll just where is she? Okay, we'll continue a little bit. Coco Melon is bribing her a bit, but unfortunately I'll probably go through this a little bit rushed, and we can go another time more like slower.
Yeah. We got plenty of times. Look at Jesus. He's still trying to fix Earth. We got time to talk about it.
Yeah.
You know.
All right. So
thanks for coming in, everyone. I love you all so much.
all right, let me fast track through some of the images. This wasn't like a presentation. It was more like a bunch of slides, just to have conversation topics and stuff like that. Do you see the slide, Bruce?
Yep, Genesis 3:15 again.
Okay, so like I said, we have Genesis 3:15. All to say is straight from the start, we're talking about a seed war. And the seed war means DNA, genetics, reproduction. And what they're saying is that obviously there'll be a war between the seed of the woman, Eve, which would be eventually Messiah, and the Antichrist, or,
And I hope it wasn't Adam and Evan. Carry on.
You never know now. So just, this is just looking at Genesis 6. It's probably very small, the writing, but for anybody who's not aware of Genesis 6, it basically says when humans began to increase in
Your
when
volume's
man
going down. Your volume's going down.
Is it okay now?
Perfect.
Okay. Basically, Genesis 6 says, when man began to multiply on the face of the earth, the sons of God, angels, descended onto the daughters of man to bear children, great men of renown, and they were giants. And those giants were there before and after the flood. If we take the first book of Enoch, we're going to see that in the first book of Enoch, it explains that the flood that occurred was basically because all flesh had been tainted. So there was literally no more thoroughbred humans. The only person that was perfect was Noah. Now it says Noah was perfect in his genealogy. It means that he chose
he
Noah.
he was not an inbred either.
No, that's it.
Yeah.
Now they don't explain why they were there after the flood. We don't know if there was a second incursion. Obviously, they're angels; they can do what they want. But the Bible's kind of vague on that aspect.
Ancient sea scrolls on the right in that picture, by the way. The deep sea scrolls is what holds the book of Enoch, which the Jews, as of Christianity, as we said at the beginning of the stream, as of 4th century, they were trying to hide that story. Why were they hiding the species? And it's very interesting,
Yeah.
The way you look at it.
In the back, or it's not disturbing anyone?
No, I don't hear anything in the back. No.
Okay, so let's read like very quickly, keeping in mind that the book of Enoch is not considered, like we had mentioned earlier for the newcomers, it's not considered heretical. It is not canonized. It wasn't. They decided not to put it in.
They said it was. You should no, but it's a canon.
It's in the
It
Ethiopian
is a canon something. It's accepted. Jews accepted it as a scripture, part biblical scripture, authentic. But that was found later,
not a
right?
Forgery. Basically, it's not a forgery.
Yeah.
It's and it is in the Ethiopian Bible, the Christian Bible, and Jude in the Bible quotes it, and this was common knowledge. So, anyways, this explains Genesis 6, and it explains that Semyaza, who was the leader, said unto them, I fear that if we do this, if we do not agree to do this deed, and I alone shall pay the penalty. Now, Satan is not the name. Satan is just a title meaning accuser or adversary. Lucifer means light bearer in Latin. So who knows? Maybe this is maybe.
Revelation 9:11, if I'm not mistaken. Revelation 9:11, or is it
Yeah.
Daniel? I think it is Revelation. Could I be right that they talk about where Satan resides, where he lives? Because
Um,
today it's like we were talking at the beginning. That's another. You guys got to back that up. We're talking about the Apollyon Empire. We talked
Yeah.
about CERN, right, being built over the Apollyon Empire, about them smashing subatomic particles to let out elements and open holes, and the rituals that are done at
comparing that to the
CERN.
opening ceremony, it's
It's
really worth
crazy, right?
Hey,
Jason,
Noah,
of course, he showed the
bring
interior
it
of
down
the.
by like a couple.
He showed the
So
interior of. You showed the interior of the Vatican, where they're literally in the serpent's
yeah.
effing mouth.
Well, actually, I have those. So what we could do is go through these more quickly and
Yeah, my
come
community's
back
seen
to it
that.
next
I'm showing
time.
that in my community too. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a big thing also is Mount Hermon. That's where the Watchers descended, and this is something to keep an eye on. This is
Mount Her
yeah,
man. No, I'm just saying. Like Mount. I'm into patterns. When you mentioned Mount Sinai the last time,
yeah,
Sign I.
yeah. Check this
Weird.
out. So it says in chapter 7, and all the other together with them, these are the angels, took unto themselves wives, and each chose for himself one, and they began to go in onto them and defile themselves with them. And they taught them charms, enchantments, cutting of roots, and made them acquainted with plants. I think that they did a lot more than that. I think these are the same
Yeah.
dudes that gave all the ancient technology. And they became pregnant, and they bore great giants whose height was 3,000 eels, who consumed all the acquisition of men. You can imagine the calorie count that they need to maintain themselves. They'd be eating everything. Who
Not just
consumed
that.
all the
Imagine a big heart. The giant, the bigger the animals get, the
Mhm.
bigger their hearts. I'm amazed at how, whether you believe in God or not, scientists themselves, even atheist scientists, are saying that
Yeah.
it's so perfect. It's so perfect, the creation of life, that it could not be a natural thing, like spontaneous natural phenomena. So look at
Yeah,
it the
no,
way you want. Look at it the way you want. It's
the
very.
systems are
So
so
the giants, Jason, the minute they're giants, this is how everything coincides. They're going to be very tall up off the surface. They're going to
yeah,
have problems breathing. But no, because giants' metabolisms would be different. And at the same time, they would have these giant hearts, easily capable of pumping blood even
mhm,
higher up. Like a giant on Mount Everest, be afraid he'd faint. But again, if we're talking about 9 feet, what's the difference? Not much. The
mhm,
size. There's not much difference against somebody that's 9 feet tall. His breathing as someone that's 6 foot from the ground there. But when we
mhm.
start talking about 20-foot friggin' giants, I believe that they were here before us, most likely. Most likely we are the aliens, or we're the ones that were brought here, or we're the ones that they made. One of many beings. So get this. We have a lot of cousins in theory, a lot of nieces, cousins, ancestors that were probably all based on the human DNA. Times I had theories that maybe the animals that are all existing now could have been
Yeah,
manipulated with parts of our DNA. If we splice the genes, if we're editing the genes, gain of function. Fauci got caught doing that because it was splicing the genes, so it can be
yeah,
done. It can be done. How do you think they learned how to do that? Because
yeah,
fuckface Vaticans, excuse the language,
mhm,
in their archives, right?
yeah,
Tempered archives, they have all that information there. They know which priests were raping kids. They know which
yeah,
spiritual and paranormal events occurred. Some
mhm.
houses are banned. You know that? Do you know how many not executions? Do you know how many exorcists that the Catholic priests do? per year. It's like thousands. And
Mhm.
also they say they're not allowed to talk about them because it's against them.
Yeah, like I've looked at real exorcists like capturing Christianity and stuff. It's like, come on, like well, we didn't film it. Like I want to see the head spinning. I want to see like sliding up on the
Yeah,
wall.
exactly. I want to hear. Yeah,
What I've seen.
I want to hear her.
Yeah,
I
like,
want to see and hear a
yeah.
devil. Actually, I'm not going to ask for that. I don't want it to enter me, but
No,
I
please.
want to witness it. I want to witness it. Actually,
Yeah,
we
exactly.
have. How many have we witnessed? How many people are possessed all of their lives and they will not know? Some people are mentally ill because of possession, I
I
believe.
believe that. Yeah. Schizophrenia, like it means a broken soul.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But not just that. Imagine some people that do see shit, right?
Yeah.
That really see something that makes them lose it.
There was a schizophrenic lady that worked in housekeeping at the hospital. So she had schizophrenia, and the way she was talking, like she was like, "There's a man inside me. It's a man voice, and he's making me do stuff." And she used to like grab like hot water and like down it to like burn him. Like it was messed up stuff,
Imagine wanting to do that. Something's inside of you. Something inside of you, like the woman that believes that her child was the devil, and she stabbed herself, in the stomach to be able to kill it. So it's like,
that's it. Hey, let me play the PowerPoint. We'll slide through some of those slides.
if my community is listening in, which I know you are, it's Jason John Swartz. He's going to be talking about. We're talking about giants right now. But if ever you guys wanted to do fasting, sorry, Jason, Monday, he has an open panel. If you want to come on to talk about your weight loss, if you're overweight and you want to explain to people why you don't lose weight, come right ahead and do so,
Yeah. So yeah, exactly. We coach. It's a community. We encourage each other.
Mondays, every Monday, every
6
Monday night.
p.m. Eastern. I've been getting a lot of people that I'm coaching, and I'm kind of like one-on-one with everybody. So I have started a Patreon page where I think it's $3 per month, and then we do like one-on-one. At least we'll have a group, once a week.
You're just starting. If you guys want a group to be up faster on Patreon, go and join them and give them.
But for now, just show up on Mondays to see, if you like it. Thank you.
Like I always say, Jason, mention it every time. It's a free channel. Everyone and anyone is welcome to come by. You will get people at one point that really like your work and will want to support you in little ways, and they'll give you little presents and gifts, and they'll encourage you. It's not an easy thing having a YouTube channel.
No,
lots of lies out there too, and we all have different intentions. Me, Jason, Grandma used to go to church and everything every freaking week. Grandma was very religious and gave a lot of money to the church, and she should have been researching about,
She never spoke to me about any of that. It was weird.
No, she did not want to force religion or anything. I was always asking questions. Grandma, is God a woman? Oh no, why? I was always asking there's one on our grandmother on mom's side. When I was younger, I don't know if you ever heard those videos, the audio recordings of me talking about the PTL club and answering the phone, saying praise the Lord all the time. I was really spiritual, man. At a young age, I was into all these ghosts and spiritual shit and everything as a very, very young age. And mom said I used to tell her all the time that when I was younger that God's a woman. God's not a male. But it goes to show how my open-headedness today started at a very young age. And you know why? When we lost our dad, like anybody, any kid, some kids get abused, and you're older than another person. You start evolving faster than the kids your age, and you start wondering about questions and stuff. It's a hell of a journey. It's a scary journey, but it's one I don't regret.
No. So we already went through this, guys, but at least for people just showing up to get an idea of what we kind of were talking about
Yeah,
at the
Indian
start.
tribes during the British military back in the days, even Christopher Columbus would find Indian tribes that were like giants, and they were working with little pygmy like very small and smaller than midget people, you know.
No.
Oh, yo, don't be nothing to it. Let the little princess talk. Give her a microphone. So yeah, you see right there on the right, guys. I mean, it's the ancient sea scrolls. The Jews hid so the Catholics hid stuff from people. The Jews hid stuff from people. Muslims are doing the same bloody thing. There's no religion that's perfect, I guess. Basically, you know, it's the people in the religions that are more perfect than the religions themselves. People are trying to find themselves, you know.
All right. So here, this is the first book on Enoch. You can get the first book of Enoch PDFs online very easily.
You could also listen to it online, absolutely, on YouTube.
Yeah.
The whole story can be counted to you while you're doing your work. Very
So over
interesting story.
here, they say, and they became pregnant. Okay, but who consumed all the acquisitions of men? And when men could no longer sustain them, the giants turned against them and devoured mankind. This is the weird thing. And they sinned against birds, beasts, reptiles, fish, and devoured one another's flesh. The sinning, I don't think that has to do with eating. I think that is the genetic manipulation.
Yeah,
end up
bingo.
We're
It's
here.
about the gene manipulation,
Yeah.
about
So-
depopulation. How long were how many times was Earth you know, banished? I don't want to talk about words that we're not allowed using. How many times did they get rid of people? Too many people. Georgia Guidestones were blown up. Why? I'm so proud of myself, man. I declared it out to my community. I said there's going to be a fight on the inside. The elites are going to fight amongst themselves. And because of that, it's going to be a complete shit show where the right and the left are going to bring all this information out. There's so many things that are going to come out. They won't be able to go back to their regular ways. That's for sure.
No, for sure. This is over here. This is just an example when he says, and they began to sin against birds, beasts, reptiles, and fish. You know, all these like weird things that we consider mythological. Maybe they are exaggerated, maybe but there's a truth to it. And we know that it's happening now. They're using CRISPR gene splicing. They always say we're going to use it for a good reason. We're going to add human DNA to pigs so that we can harvest the organs and give it to people. Because
Elon Musk with his Neuralink, Neuralink, Elon Musk can manipulate the brain waves and frequencies of a pig to make them, if they're depressed, feel happier. And Elon Musk also said that very easy to make the pigs docile. The first human trials have begun quite a few months ago, actually. And you could be sure that those people, if they go through some troubles, are not going to talk about it. This is what Jason showed before, the elongated skulls, Nefertiti on the bottom left, the Egyptians. And we were mentioning, could it be that they were remembering a spiritual event or an event where aliens came down to evolve us? I would believe that they were maybe here to evolve us. Dude, that baby, that thing on the left is not human. I don't care what anyone's. I'm looking at that thing. And okay. It looks like,
has like a perpetual chin lift.
Yeah, it has too much skin under his eyelids and stuff. That is fucked up, dude.
So look at this. Like, you know, I remember in school and stuff, oh, the headdresses, they're fancy. But no, okay, these are elongated skulls. They are rulers, kings, queens, all throughout antiquity in multiple cultures that are not even connected. And we see in the artwork.
Could they be
little
inbred?
guys.
Could they be inbreeding? Like, you do know the Rothschilds are an inbred family. I could even tell you the percentage.
Blue bloods.
She's lucky. Queen Elizabeth was lucky. She's partly inbred. Not as much as Charlie O'Boy. Charlie's straight up pure brother and sister screwing inbred. Yeah. And
so like
aliens. Aliens. There's a story that aliens could be inbred. Okay. And that's why they have these elongated skulls. That's another, story that I heard. So,
Yeah. So if I'm trying to put it together, like from a, interdimensional, uh, with the same activity again, but just deciding different origins. So first of all, boom, we have Genesis. We're understanding it's a seed war. Then after we look at Genesis 6, it's very vague. It just says they came down, they had sex, they had giants, and these giants devoured the land, tainting the human DNA, forcing Yahweh, God, to start over. So he chose Noah, and if you look, it says that he's perfect in his generation. But if you go to Strong Concordance and look at the word, it can mean genealogy. I think that makes a lot more sense. He wasn't perfect in his generation. We're all flawed. He was perfect, not in his character or his state. He was perfect. Literally, he didn't have any DNA contamination.
dude,
Christians like to say, "Oh, this is too weird." They'll say, "No, this is the line of Seth." And no, line of Seth are humans, and humans having sex with humans just have human babies.
all right.
Yeah.
Get this.
So
Get
ahead.
this. Get this. For whatever the reason, I just did this.
Mhm.
I felt to look up NEPH and to ask in ancient scripture what it would signify. As a matter of fact, it signifies NEPH signifies an abbreviation for nephew, a rare slang of nephrologist. Interesting, eh?
Yeah.
What does
So
go ahead.
yeah, okay. I just want to get through like a speeded version because I know when my wife gets home,
What does neph mean in Latin?
Neph, I don't know. Nephal means
Clouds, cloudiness,
oh, okay.
heavens. Interesting, eh? They call them the
Yeah.
Nephilim.
Things connect.
So, anyways, go ahead.
The some Christians are not comfortable with saying that angels can have sex. Angels, when they're in heaven, they have a different physical state. All throughout the Bible, when they come down, they're men. They look like men. In the New Testament, it says always be
Shapeshifters.
always be courteous because you might be serving angels. So we can't tell when they come down here. So people were saying, look, angels, it says that, they can't have sex. But in Matthew, it says, this is what they'll use. At the resurrection, people will neither marry or be given in marriage. They'll be like angels. So they're like, see, it can't be. It cannot be angels that caused this because it says here that angels in heavens don't do that. Exactly. In heaven, they don't. That's why it says in the book of Enoch that they left their first estate and they transgressed their bounds. And
Angels could have been having sex amongst themselves and got caught like Adam and Eve got caught eating the apple, So they say. There's lots of different stories. There's even stories about people saying that the serpent was there to warn them, to save them. I like hearing all those different theories because it just goes to show that if you want to create confusion in the truth, insert a very small lie and everyone's all confused about everything.
Yeah. And then after, these were just passages that show that indeed the angels are imprisoned, and then they compare it to the sexual immorality and perversion that happened in Sodom. For Christians that are trying to say that this is not angelic activity, they're wrong. And if Christians are uncomfortable with Genesis 6, then they ruin the character actually of God, because then the person will say he's a monster for flooding. But it's like, oh, it's because you're not uncomfortable with Genesis 6. If you actually followed the book of Enoch, you'd say, well, actually, Noah was the only human left. That's why,
Right.
So we'll get out of here. Here I was just showing, anybody can just go Bible versus giants. There's like 80 of them. So it's not only about
lots of them.
Yeah, it's not like only about David and Goliath. For example, here it says, there also we saw the Nephilims, the son of Enoch, are part of the Nephilim, the giants, and we became like grasshoppers in our own sight, and so we were to their sight. Then we have Goliath. Okay, the champion came and armies of the Fine, we know that one. In Samuel 2, it says Ishbi Benob, who was among the descendants, what? Of the giants. The weight of whose spear was 300 shekels of bronze in weight, were girded with a new sword, and he intended to kill David. Again, there is a war at Gath, where there was a man of great stature who had 6 fingers. See, we're tying into the other legends of the Indians with the 6 fingers.
Right. But now hang on, because
Yeah.
now if you're talking about 6 fingers, we're talking also about alien beings, because the alien beings, there's also an alien being that has 6 fingers. As a matter of fact, the one from Roswell has 6 toes and 6 fingers. We're
But
talking
that's
about
what I'm saying.
the red-headed giants, right? Have 6 fingers also.
Exactly.
So giants, if they slept with someone, there's something about the 6 fingers. Why did they cut the penises and noses off of the Greek statues? Those are stupid things for some, but for me, there's a protest that occurred thousands of years ago. There were protests, there were strikes. There must have been a whole bunch of strike. As a matter of fact, the angels were striking against God. You know, the angels literally went against God, conniving and back and saying, well, let's go down to earth and whatnot. So,
yeah. So over here, the giant clans in the Bible, another criticism is, God takes these people and tells them to go into Canaan and ruthlessly annihilate them, called harem, to total destruction. So again, if a Christian is not informed of these supernatural things that they're uncomfortable sometimes talking about, they can't defend it. Actually, the ruthless conquest that God took the Hebrews to do was to eliminate these freaking hybrids again. So this is from the Bible. They were known as the Raphaim, Emim, Anakim, Horim, Avim, and Zanzumim. You also have the Amorites, the Amalekites, and it's kind of like different clans would call
the Muslims. What about the Muslims?
No, I don't think they're there, but the Emim, a large and numerous people as tall as the Anakim. And then you have King Og of Bashan was left. He was a remnant. So you see they're dying off. And again, he's a giant. Let's just go through the fast stuff. So all of these Greek mythologies and stuff like that, I actually believe that there's some truth to that, whether these are Nephilim or these are fallen angels that were worshipped. I think that these, in my view, and I can call them aliens, angels are alien to this abode, So exactly. I think that there is truth within a lot of the myths. We have the Indian myths. We have the legend of Sidikai. These are the red-haired ones.
Giants in America. Red-headed giants come from the USA. It's always been known.
That's it. Here we have
from Ohio, in particularly. That's where they're buried.
Bruce showed this on his slide, Queen Elizabeth looking at it.
Yeah,
obviously
back in the 50s.
These have been removed now,
yep.
But there is plenty of New York Times articles of giants 8 feet or larger, and all of this has been taken by the Smithsonian Museum. Whether they destroyed it or not, they've wiped it out of any access.
Yeah, $1.2 million. I have proof. They bought one giant that had mass in it, had guts in it, and they destroyed it because they said it was a reproduction of what looked like a very real old giant.
And mainstream science does this all the time, because I learned this when I started a keto diet. All of the research, all the guidelines that they claim, they ignore everything that doesn't fit their agenda. And I'll tell you one thing, this does not fit secular evolutionary mentality. So here we have the elongated heads, and we see that humans tend to copy that, right? Oh, these are royalty, so they're going to emulate them. These skulls, this is not because of headboarding like this, because the volume, the mass is larger. And me and Bruce, before we joined streams, we were talking about humans have a very distinct parietal plates that suture, and you can see that on a human skull. These one have very different down here. The whole thing is one big plate. Here you can even see hair on it. We see again these weird little guys here. We see the headdress. This could be an artist's rendition, but really not,
Of
because when
course,
you look
of
at the
course.
skulls, maybe they really looked that
It's the
odd.
benefit of the doubt, eh?
Yeah.
Notice everyone's always going to say that. Oh, it could be just a representation of God.
That's what
Mom,
they used to.
why does everyone around the world always have a different image of God? Oh, it's just a different representation of God. Yeah, well,
Mhm.
it's like enough of the bullshit.
Yeah.
Seriously.
See over here. So look
Other
like what
known giant races in Greek mythology, Jason, include the sixth armed, okay, Giganus. There's the
Mhm.
northern Hyperboreans. There's the cannibalistic Lastrygonians. There's the Hinduans or something like that. There's half giant. There's Zanctus. I mean, I'm just starting to look into the in detail. I've been looking at it for years, but when you look in detail, giants are a race of humanoids that vastly overshadow the other known races. Let's go. There's
Mhm.
many different perceptions and opinions and ideals. It's already 9:04.
Yeah,
I did good, eh?
quick
I
then.
lasted the 3 hours. I'm starting. My ass is literally
Yeah. No,
floating. My
give me
balls
10
are up
minutes.
my ass.
Give me 10 minutes. I just want to show the slides fast, and then we can stop because Noah's trying to keep Rosa busy. So, anyways, just to say, the legend of Gilgamesh, same thing. Giants. Here we have giants in Egyptian art. We have these weird skulls again. So these aren't like, oh, well, this is a pharaoh, so they make him bigger. Maybe, but I don't think so, because once your eyes are open to giants and stuff like that, and you start going down this rabbit hole, it's like you see it everywhere. Like
They say
giraffes.
no. The reason why they were depicting them so tall is because they had grandiose and they
Yeah,
were
it was a way
their
of
stature.
representing their
Yeah,
stature.
bullshit. Like they say the way that they have the big columns up at
Yeah,
the White House and stuff like that. There's a little bit of bullshit in
exactly.
some of it too.
In the Bible, it talks. We often pick up Noah's Ark, and it rained for 40 days, 40 or whatever. But it actually says the fountains of the deep broke open. And here, this is a recent article from Discovery.com, and it says there's this. I'll talk louder in case the kids are.
No, she doesn't overpower you. She doesn't overpower you. We can hear you very well.
All right. So the water underground, there's as much water inside the earth at this time as there is in all the oceans. And that's the conclusion that scientists are reaching in 2014. It's not in liquid form. It's trapped in some kind of
A different state. It's
yeah.
different state. Yep.
Here are flood traditions.
It's in gas state. Actually, the water is held inside in a gas state.
Yeah, this one, obviously, there's gas. It separates the hydrogen and oxygen.
Ice,
We're talking
permafrost. There's ice crystal.
Where is it? It's too bad it actually named what it was called, the form. But anyways, the interesting thing is that there's tons of ocean under the water. The fountains of deep broke open, and I think it makes sense that a large part of the earth can be hollow as well. So, hollow earth, not too stupid, maybe. These are flood traditions here that are from multiple cultures and stuff like that. There's something there. This is just from our friend, the Smithsonian Museum. There may be a second massive ocean deep beneath the surface. So it's just kind of like putting maybe the flood and stuff, maybe it's not so stupid after all. Here it says, in the 600th year Noah's life, in the second month, on that day, all the fountains of the great deep burst forth. It wasn't the rain that caused too much of a problem. It was actually all that subterranean oceans that came. And when we look at the earth, it is cracked like an egg. And I think that all of these fault lines here are where the water exploded out and just cracked around the earth like a baseball.
Yeah.
You have, again, me and Bruce were talking about the elongated heads. So just trying to give some examples. Brian Forster, if you want to look specifically on the elongated skulls, the Paracas skulls, he's the guy. Okay, he's the guy that's doing.
I always wanted to talk about our family secret about the elongated penises, but I said it's embarrassing talking about that.
Yeah.
Next stream.
Okay. DNA testing. So this guy's done DNA testing. We could do that on another stream. Trying to, like how forensics will take a skull and kind of like, what would these people look like? And it says these ancient elongated skulls have been found in many parts of the world, like spread out. But the largest and most intriguing lived in Peru and Bolivia. Who they were and why their skulls are altered has not been thoroughly explained. But we see that, this is in multiple areas. So you can also go see Brian Forrester. I learned a lot from him. Showing this, he's showing locations where they're found, like the mound builders and megalithic builders. Me and Bruce talked about
Tutankhamun was handicapped. Yeah, he had the deformations in his spine and his legs. He was tiny. He was an inbred. I think he had like a cleft palate, and I mean, there's a whole bunch of. Hey, when you look at the old, Canadian history or American history, when you go back and look at the kings about 100 to 300 years ago, they all have these friggin' weird noses. They have these palates all screwed up. It's all brothers and sisters that are sleeping with each other. They're all inbred from the first family gene.
The blue blood.
Yep, they say that Elizabeth's had a sister, Queen Elizabeth. I'll say like Biden, save the Queen. She had a sister that was handicapped that they hid from the world because Elizabeth was not supposed to be the queen. English people today.
Oh no, I didn't know that. So me and Bruce we're talking about the Serpent Mound. This one, it's in Ohio, and this can only be seen, like aerial. So it's quite impressive. I was kind of thinking, this does look like a seed, doesn't it? And it kind of, for me, ties into that prophecy in Genesis that there'll be hatred between the seed of the woman and the seed of the serpent. And I find that this serpent, to me,
it also follows a wave declared last year, which is a frequency that goes up and down. Everything travels up and downwards. Frequencies that are traveling through the air, lower frequencies, higher frequencies, and they're all traveling like a wave up and down. Actually, if you look at the oceans, is it any wonder that the waves are going up and down, moving one way? Everything does. Hello.
We had
I know.
Come sit with me. Usually she sits quietly with me, but she's like super active. So for me, something to look at. Seed of the serpent, enmity. The serpent here looks like it's swallowing a seed. And me and Bruce had talked about these are actually in alignment to specific solstice and things like that. Like most of the stuff.
What if I told you that was a map of the stars?
Yeah, well,
I'm pretty intrigued at how, I'm not even going to dare get into crop circles because we're going to be off finishing in a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
But the crop circles, the messages, the way, ancient art, they knew a lot about frequencies back then. They knew a lot about a whole shitload of things, all the different dimensions they knew about back then. So basically we're getting all our information off that,
Yeah.
Hey, it's pitch dark here.
This is kind of what I think. I believe that I kind of put my thoughts. I believe that the fallen angels, they shared the knowledge with the population in antiquity. They played gods in the ancient world. And we see the similarities between cultural myths show at least a grain of truth somewhere in there. The Nephilim are angel-human hybrids. So the fallen angels, I believe, are the ones that give all this knowledge. And the Nephilim, the giants, are the builders. They're the ones that were able to make these megaliths. And we're all scratching our head. Possibly the fallen angels had some kind of, technology to levitate. That's possible too. Yeah. But it explains the ancient technologies found around the world that's very advanced that science doesn't want to acknowledge. But the knowledge led to the corruption of mankind. And this is, again, what's going to happen. All of this gene editing.
How much did things weigh 1,000 years ago? Who says our atmosphere? If you land on Mercury, you weigh different. If you land on Venus, on Mars, you weigh differently.
Yeah,
So
yeah, for sure.
how many changes are there in an atmosphere of a planet? I mean, we're just experiencing right now an entire solar system change. All the planets and stars are moving and changing because of what? The sun? Because of two neutron stars that collided? Or apparently there's a big ass black hole traveling through the Milky Way right towards us. There's asteroids coming towards us and stuff. It's all about time and perception. What happens, there's an asteroid coming to hit Earth, but people don't care because it's going to be in billions of years, they say, or millions of years. Be careful. It could be billions of weeks or hours.
Yeah.
So,
Look at the
they can't
size
detect
of
them all.
massive stones. It's crazy.
They just detected the first interstellar object in space in the Pacific Ocean, Papua New Guinea. They're combing the ocean floor with the Pacific. So we're talking much deeper than, Titanic. We're talking 1,200 feet. Pacific, we're talking a lot deeper, and they were able to retrieve what is literally an alien object.
Yeah. Here, these are the megalithic stones and stuff like that. It says that the massive scale, the undertaking of trying to shape and then release these stones is almost unbelievable. So these are just primitive, people. They don't have microwaves, but they're building this kind of stuff. No way. Either it has to be a combination of angel or supernatural beings.
What if there are cars back there, man? Like I know I sound retarded, but since this year, I wouldn't be surprised if Egyptians had Harleys. Why not? They're more advanced than us.
We see the pictures there of the spaceships that are cut in.
Well, there you go. You just said something. Hold on. Why do we have Harleys? We live and are stuck on this planet.
Mm-hmm.
What about the people leaving this planet, traveling around? They don't need Harleys, right? Harley Davidsons, parks, religion, probably a lot of stuff that they need to tame us. We used to enslave them, and they used to for the Roman Empire. Now we're just going to give them jobs. They're going to believe that it's their money, but we'll charge them taxes, so they'll make money for us.
Of course,
it's all a friggin' plan. It's exactly a repetitive cycle that everything going on all the time.
Over here,
anyways,
these are huge here. Just to say, even there's legends. So giants are everywhere, all throughout our culture. Me and Bruce had talked about the Vatican. This is inside the Vatican. It's an obvious serpent. The outside, obvious serpent.
Yep.
Here, I showed this one, and then, maybe people don't see it, but that's Baphomet right there.
Elon Musk, where?
But you know what I mean? It's it's overpowering. It's like, oh, this was just a mistake. Oh, well, how about Jesus's hair that looks like a freaking snake also?
Yep.
Why is Jesus coming out and he doesn't really look like he's coming in the glory from heaven?
Maybe it's because the story was backwards or upside down. What's the joke? What's the joke about Baphomet doing this? Does he have crooked horns?
Man, they're doing it on purpose to put that. You can't make a mistake with this man.
Hey, that would be a bad icon picture, eh?
Yeah.
Trolls are like, look at this guy, he's a devil. Get his knee, get his knee.
Listen to this. This one's scary too in Daniel, okay? He says, and just as you saw the iron mixed with baked clay, so the people will be a mixture and will not remain united any more than iron mixes with clay. In the time of those kings, the God of heaven will set up a kingdom that will never be destroyed, nor will it be left to another people. It will crush. So this thing mingling, okay, with the seed of men, this is right towards the end. I just showed some more stuff. Me and Bruce are just basically trying to say whether they're one thing or the other. This transcends all cultures. This ain't just one culture that's talking about floods or talking about giants, it's everywhere. And it's been hidden. Smith, like the governments or something, anything that shows this, it's gone. So even Jain mythology has it. We know CTK, we saw that was the six fingers and stuff like that. There's the Norse mythology with frost giants, fire giants. So they're all over the place. And then after we have the Abrahamic, they call it mythology. I call it fact. But again, these are all, and there's a lot of names because it's kind of like somebody will call me and you Canadians, and then another will say, oh, the Quebecers, and then another one will say the town. So there's a lot of names, but it's actually sometimes they're just referring to them in a different way, and it's the same people. But
Right.
these are the people that the Israelites were sent to completely destroy, like everything, and it makes the character of God sound like, bad. But it's like if Christians are too scared to acknowledge that we're talking about something way crazier than parting the Red Seas, if they don't have the guts to say that, they can't really back up much of the Bible.
Right.
Because if you look at the conquest, he's like, kill everything, kill the animals, kill the women, kill the children. And you're like, whoa, what's up with that? What's up, sweetheart? Here is a human skull. Come. Noah Bear, is there one of those yogurt things in
No,
the
I'm
fridge?
good, man.
So we can go. We'll stop it soon. We'll just go through at least so people can see the next time some of the stuff that we could continue. But the serpents everywhere as well in most cultures. I think the only religion that thinks the serpent is bad, I think, is Judaism and Christianity, because you have the Kundalini serpent. Asian cultures are all dealing with serpents.
Yeah.
I don't think that this Kundalini energy is a good thing to play with. I actually believe in the chakras. I believe in those spiritual centers. Me personally, I believe that the Holy Spirit comes in and he decides what the hell to do with those centered. I've done meditation in my 20s, trying to suck the serpent from my butt to my brain. And I'll tell you one thing, some weird stuff happened and it wasn't pleasant.
Oh, I
Here
confirm
we
it.
have the
I
awakening.
have some crazy shit that's been happening to me.
No,
ever
I don't.
since.
I don't play with that stuff anymore. I had some
I
really
love
bad
it.
experience.
I love it. Bring the shadows. Bring
Here
the
it says
demons.
the awakening of the Kundalini chakra presenting as psychosis, and that's it, man. That's all I had to show. We can go into more detail another time.
Wow!
Who's that? Yeah, wait, I'll put her on. Who's that? She's kind of looks like me.
She's like, I don't care who it is.
You want to? So we're at 3:25. Do you want to just stop it here?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Definitely, I gotta get off. I mean, I haven't even turned on the light yet in the house. Hey, make her look at me. I'll make myself disappear. Watch, I'm gonna do some. No, I'm not. I won't say magic. I'm just gonna do a trick. Oh, never mind. Never mind, dude.
All right, man.
Never mind.
Are we
Really
cutting
bad.
it now?
I look like the devil. I'm not gonna do that. So I'm gonna wait. Hey, listen, it was awesome, and of course, my community is listening. So I'm gonna end the stream too after you end. I'm gonna let you end it first.
Yeah, sure.
And man, listen. Go ahead.
Do a shameless plug, just to show my my channel, my small channel, just so people maybe see the content and stuff if they're interested or not.
You said to do what? You want to do something? You said.
I just want to show my YouTube channel. So
of course, no,
100
listen.
people.
Go right ahead, buddy.
Give an idea of what kind of stuff.
Listen up, community. Bruce sees all community. If you want to know what Jason's all about, please listen up.
Yeah, so there's a wide variety of stuff. I do some Christian content, but I'll talk about anything and everything. I do a lot of live streams as well, so you can go in the live stream archives.
Lots
I
of
do-
troll action, lots of trolls that come by and give their
Yeah.
opinions. Support them.
Yeah.
If you disagree with the trolls, add in the comment section. Trolls
Yeah.
hate support.
That's it.
People don't understand that. One
it-
person goes to the troll and say, "We love Jason," and that's it. Everything explode. You know, got to stick
Well,
together.
I have my troll confrontations of people like toxicity. In the morning, I do one chapter per day reading. I'm a Christian, but I believe in conditional immortality, which means that we have this life. We're made fit for the kingdom if we accept it or not. We're all judged for what we do, and those that are didn't accept Jesus, they after a certain amount of just penalty and punishment, they cease to be. So I don't believe in eternal conscious torment. This ain't something I just made up in my head. There's early church fathers that believed in that, and there's many Christians as well that. So anyways, that's the kind of Christian I am. And lots of live streams. And every Monday you'll see Bruce here. Okay. So there's also keto fasting live streams here. So every Monday, Bruce is going to be always on. He's on his fasting weight loss journey, which is incredible.
I am 20 pounds away from being at 200 pounds. Go ahead.
I do some videos to respond. I had gotten, I was involved with a community that was hostile towards Christians. So that just led to a lot of response videos.
CIA. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, just to say, I had to stop because it was getting really toxic. I also
was getting top secret or toxic? Toxic. Okay.
It was getting toxic.
Yeah, that's like the whole association.
Play just this one. Wait, I was going through the breakfast cereal, and like I'm a keto guy. I hate carbohydrates that are junk like this. So here.
As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no cereal. Thy meat, thy fat, they comfort me. Amen.
That sums me and Bruce pretty much up.
Yeah, like we're just big kids. Basically, that's what we are. Hey, man, I've been leaving my visitors that have been here having a coffee. I have to go spend some time with. No, I'm kidding.
I gotta go for that.
That'd be crazy, eh?
Yeah.
3.5 hours. Hey, it was interesting, man. We had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Seriously.
All right,
honestly.
man. Love you. Let's do this again.
All right. And listen, thanks to my community that are listening in.
Yeah.
Open panels Monday nights on Jason's channel, 6 p.m. Eastern time.
Mm-hmm.
If you're curious about how to losing weight, Jason is giving me and his community hands-on experience and knowledge on exactly what the doctors, idiots online, are not telling you. Honestly, Jason goes all out when he talks about that subject because he knows a lot about it. So if you want to join the panel, you want to lose weight, go ahead, man.
It's been 5 years. So
yeah, and you've been fasting for a while. I lost weight back in the day, but without knowing how. I was just starving myself in an unhealthy way.
Yeah, but you picked it up I mean,
yeah, like I learned
another month or two, and you'll be able to like be a coach with me for other people.
No, absolutely, Speedo coach and everything.
Yeah,
I mean,
this is my Patreon. So I coach people for free on Mondays and stuff like that. But if you want like more one-on-one where, I can pop up and we can talk one-on-one, go through things. I developed this because I've kind of been helping it full of different people on Messenger, and it's like, it's too much time. So I'm like, let's put it in one shot and charge $3.
You're sharing this to 2,000 people right now, by the way.
Well, that's good.
So, because that is how much I get. Did you know that? Did you know?
Maybe I'll get I have one subscriber. I think it's my mom.
Do you know that I get 2,000 people?
That's crazy.
Every stream.
Wow.
Every single stream, but I don't get 2,000 comments. So unfortunately, that's how it is. So I guess you'll be able to sign off, or
I'm out of here, man. So I guess I remove you too as well. I don't know what's going to happen when I end the broadcast.
We all disappear. Just end the broadcast and mine, and I'll disappear too. If not, I'll take over your channel.
Love you. See you guys.
Love you, man. Thanks, bro. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye for now.
All right. I just wanted to get rid of my brother. So we're going to do another like hour or two, you know.